Welcome to the Cruiser Racer channel. I'm Rebel Lion of the Electron Rebels Bike Club, and this is Bike Talk. Bike Talk is a personal vlog with electric bike enthusiasts. Here we share with you news about the e-bike industry and new technologies. We also feature electric cruiser and cafe racer brands. And we specifically highlight custom and DIY electric bikes. If this channel appeals to you, and you like what we like too, please click like and subscribe. Now let's get to the show. Greetings enthusiasts and welcome back to the channel. I'm Rebel Lion of the Electron Rebels, the Grand Admiral, and this is Bike Talk, a personal vlog of an enthusiast. In this episode, we are going to feature the top 5 cruisers on the Cruiser Racer watch list. Now, because we are a brand that loves to build electric cruiser and cafe racer bikes, it only makes sense that we focus on the electric cruiser and cafe racer market. The cruisers that we're going to explore today have greatly influenced the way we build our models here at Cruiser Racer. So, allow me to present to you a handful of my personal favorite brands. This is the Cheetah by Civi Bikes. It has a 750 watt Bafang rear geared hub motor with a peak output of 12,000 watts. Powered by a Samsung lithium-ion battery at 48 volts, 13 amp hours, and an optional 17.5 amp hour battery as well. The Cheetah can be charged in 5 hours, giving the bike a 20-mile range minimum and a 50-mile range maximum. Equipped with a fixed backlit color LCD display, reading out the speed, odometer, battery charge level, trip meter, and pedal assist level ranging from 0 to 5. The independent control pad button has a plus and minus symbol, which allows you to set the power levels, as the backlight can be set for night mode and day mode. There's a separate headlight switch for low and high beams. The motor connects with a 12 magnet cadence sensor for pedal assist, and there's also a thumb throttle. Reaching a top speed of 28 miles per hour, adjustments can be made within the settings. The wheels are a smooth 26-inch by 4.0-inch alloy rim, double wall, 35mm outer width, and stainless steel spokes. This is Wicked Thumb's McQueen 750 on a 6061 hydroformed aluminum frame and battery tank with a top speed of 28 miles per hour. Twist throttle or pedal assist. It has a 7-speed Shimano shifter and a super efficient front and rear hydraulic brake system. Powered by a Samsung 48 volt, 17.5 amp hour, 840 watt hour lithium battery with NCA 18650 35E cells, rated for 800 charge cycles. The 750 watt Bafang brushless geared rear hub motor has an 80 Newton meter torque and 5x1 planetary gear reduction. The controller at 48 volts, 25 amp hours, configures a 5 to 9 level pedal assist with a sealed 12 magnet cadence sensor. The 3.8 full color LCD display has a USB port, a beautiful 6¼ inch LED headlamp with high and low beams, an estimated 35 to 45 mile range per charge, with 26 by 4 inch fat white wall tires, carries a 300-pound payload capacity. The the Greaser e-bike by Michael Blass. The Greaser leans more towards a cafe racer style bike, but still makes the cut for the top 5 in the cruiser list. The Greaser has a 500 watt Bafang geared brushless rear hub electric motor powered by a Samsung lithium-ion 48 volt 14.5 amp hour battery. With a pedal assist 12 magnet, cadence sensor system, and twist throttle, Shimano Altus X7 speed, and 5-speed motor assist drivetrain. Velo extra wide saddle, quality Tektro hydraulic Ariga front and rear brakes, an 18 amp hour controller. The canvas is an A6061 aluminum TIG weld frame and a double down chromoly CNC alu-made crown set fork. With Duro Beach Bum 26 by 3 inch tires, carries a 260 pound payload capacity. The bike weighs 63 pounds. An LCD 5-speed display reading the speed, time, distance, the motor diagram, and wattage output. The Greaser has a 5-hour full charge time and will get you 37 miles maximum range with the full charge. It comes with a 5-year warranty on the frame, 6-month warranty on the battery, and a 1-year warranty on the electric components. The Ruffian's a gorgeous cruiser, built on an aluminum RN frameworks with powder coating. It's powered by a Bosch drivetrain CX line 250 watt mid-drive motor with a 85 Nm torque. Also equipped with a Bosch Power Pack battery at 300 watt-hours or 500 watt-hours. A maximum pedal assist speed of 15 miles per hour with hydraulic disc brakes front and rear. The shift system, a new Vinci Inviolo TR Infinity N330, and double wall aluminum 26 by 3 inch tires. The bike weighs 72 pounds. Revolt Cruiser, not Clubman. The Revolt Clubman is gorgeous. This cruiser weighs 60 pounds with a 6061 aluminum frame and soft vegan leather saddle. Powered by a 7-speed Shimano Tourney, 250 watt Bafang rear hub motor, 40 Nm torque, thumb throttle, and pedal assist. An LCD display for speed, battery level, gear level, drive mode, and an app for connectivity. The battery has 1000 charge cycles, 36 volts, 10.5 amp hours, with 26-mile range, and charges in 2.5 hours. It also sits inside of a composite shell covered in leather. You may also order the battery in 36 volts, 16 amp hours for 37-mile range and a charge time of 4 hours. With Tektro mechanical disc brakes, there's also an option of Tektro hydraulic brakes. The tires are 26 by 3 inches on a double wall 1.5 width rim. These custom e-bike brands are years ahead of their time, and these bikes offer a certain class and style that frankly I feel the Western countries are not ready for. Here in the US, the top selling electric bike is Rad Power, and although I think Rad Power is a great electric bike, it is just an average e-bike. It lacks style and customization features. It's a very reasonably priced bike, but I have no desire, nor will I ever want to add the Rad Rover to my personal bike collection. I want a bike that excites me when I ride, one that turns heads as I zip down the street, just as Ghost Cruiser does every time I ride it. But again, that's just me. What do you think of the top 5? Let me know in the comment section below. For now, let's move on. What's up, guys? It's tea time. And in this segment of the show is where I sip a little tea and then spill a little tea. The first tea time I did was a little off the cuff. I just kind of went on about something that was on my chest that I needed to get off. And this one is a little more structured. I actually have a point that I really want to get across. So let's get into that. All right, so for those of you who know the channel or are familiar with the channel, every Friday we post a new video, a cruise video for the show Friday Cruising. And Friday Cruising is mainly a relaxing ride or cruise, either on the city streets, cruising the town, or on a bike path, and also an adventure on a bike trail. We started posting Friday Cruising back in December 2020, and thus far we've got about 20 videos, 20 cruise videos, and it's all based in the local area. But I'm sad to say that we are exhausting all the places that we can ride and adventure for new material. And that's all within a 20-mile radius. The issue is the amount of battery power that we can exhaust within 20 miles of travel without having to charge the battery between 1/4 and 3/4 of a way to get back home without pedaling heavily. I mentioned before that Ghost Cruiser is a heavy bike, and pedaling Ghost Cruiser without power is simply unsatisfactory. Now I can travel with Smoke Racer, which is better because Smoke Racer is a more lighter bike for pedaling. However, I didn't build these bikes for exercise. I built them for recreation and transport, and not just like 2-3 miles per hour transport. I'm talking about 15-20 miles per hour transport. My riding habits are recreation and pleasure. And with that said, I want to pedal as least I possibly can. Yet that's just me. So here's the issue. I want to travel further and explore new terrain. That is easier said than done in my case. Besides the battery issue, the lack of public transportation in my area is another big issue. My city lacks efficient public transportation, as do many US cities. It's a problem for many bike riders, but more so for e-bike riders. For example, city buses usually have a bike rack either at the forward of the bus or underneath the bumper that pull out. And the bikes are built for standard bikes. I ran into a lady a few days ago who was pushing her Rad Power bike because I assumed she had run out of power or she was trying to save it for the really tough rides. However, she was expressing to me that she could not put her Rad Power bike on a city bus because the racks where the wheels sit in are made for standard bikes. And if you've known any Rad Power bikes or seen any Rad Power bikes, you know that the tires are similar to fat tires. They're wider than standard bike tires, and they don't fit inside of a bus rack. So that got me thinking, because I never considered that when it came to fat tire bikes. Do all fat tire bikes have issues with going on buses? And if so, there is a major problem with our transportation infrastructure. It's lacking the ability to move everyone around. Now, I've never attempted to put Ghost Cruiser on a bus or use a bus rack. And, to be honest with you, I don't even want to try. I believe Ghost Cruiser is already too heavy in weight to fit on a bike rack. Not that it would break it, it just probably wouldn't fit right anyways. And look, I don't even like buses. Buses are slow. I mean, there's way too many stops in between, and I want to get to my destination within an hour. I don't want to have to endure all the stops in between. I personally prefer trolley, rail car, or train. In my state, in particular, we have a light rail system, and we also have a express train system, which is also an issue for me. Problem is that the state of Washington is about 30 years behind when it comes to public transportation. The local rail system, or the light rail, barely spans 20 miles outside of Seattle, the major city for this area. It is, like I said, at least 30 years behind. In fact, when I moved here 13 years ago, they were just putting that system in effect, and within the 13 years have failed to really expand the system outside of Seattle. Now there is, once again, an express train, but even that one is a very sad issue behind it. The express train is limited, very limited, runs 10 times a day, goes north and south only, and the stops, it runs mainly during the morning hours between 5 and 8, maybe 9 a.m. There are no midday stops, and in the evening, there are only 2 stops at the station closest to my place, or even in my town. There's only one word to express the public transportation system, and I would say it's pitiful. So what does a rider like myself do in order to solve a transportation like that, or the transportation issue? And that, my friends, is what I've been pondering for the last 5 months. And the only conclusion that I could come up with: vehicle rental. So I made it a personal mission, to find the most effective and inexpensive way for me to get further, to do more rides. And the best solution, like I said, was vehicle rental. Checking with 3 companies, that will be Enterprise, U-Haul, and Budget Rental, here's the conclusion that I came back with. Between the 3, I narrowed in on 2, and that would be Enterprise and U-Haul. Budget is just a metaphor. Budget is everything but budget. The reality is that Budget is more expensive than both of the other companies, U-Haul and Enterprise. So Enterprise does rent pickup trucks through their Enterprise rental car, and they rent cargo vans through Enterprise truck rentals. This is what I gathered. So one of the problems with Enterprise is that you can rent, like I said, a pickup, and you can rent a cargo van, but not from the same location. Enterprise car rental is less than a quarter mile away from my block, away from my current residence. But the truck rental is about 3 miles away, outside of the city that I live in. Now, I didn't like that in particular, because I would have to spend, I'd have to waste some of my battery energy going to pick up a vehicle. However, what I did like were, in fact, let me get into that for you. So to rent a pickup, let's start with that. To rent a pickup truck, the rates start at $75. The insurance rate is $33. And I have to have insurance because I don't drive a car, therefore I'm not going to carry insurance. I'm going to have to use their insurance. So their insurance rate starts at $33, and that would be for collision damage and liability. The fuel efficiency is 18 miles per gallon for a truck, and the mileage is unlimited. That's music to my ears. That means I can go far. I can go where I want to. I love that. So the total price for a pickup truck rental would be about $115, including the tax, but not the fuel that I'll have to reimburse the vehicle. Now, while the cargo van starts at $65, mind you, the insurance ranges between $23 and $33. It's the same as the pickup. The fuel efficiency is going to be anywhere between 16 miles to 22 miles per gallon, depending on the size of the cargo van, because they do have mini cargo vans and then they have large cargo vans. The mileage, again, unlimited, or 300 miles free, and then 79 cents per mile, believe it was, after. But it's not bad, because as long as I travel within my state and I return the vehicle back to the same location, I can drive up to 300 miles for free. I love that. And that's 300 miles per day, right? So once again, because I often shop with Rent Enterprise, I decided to check with them first. So then I moved on to U-Haul, and the rates there are not impressive. They did not impress me at all. See, no matter what you see on the side of a U-Haul, the price is not $19.95. U-Haul's rate, $19.95, applies for the vehicle only, not the complete rental. To rent from U-Haul, we're going to start with that base price at $19.95, and that's either for the pickup truck, which is basically, large pickup truck, Chevy F-250, I guess it would be, or Ford F-150, Chevy, I don't know those trucks. And then a cargo van, which is a large cargo van, 8-foot cargo van. That is going to be $19.95 starting rate, $11 for the insurance. There's always a environmental fee, which is $1. And then mileage is going to be 99 cents per mile. Fuel efficiency, 19 miles per gallon, so they say. But the problem, once again, is that mileage charge. 99 cents per mile when I need at least 50 miles to go round trip or one way. It's going to run me $50 already in mileage. Now, the total for just 50 miles, the $19.95 for the vehicle, the insurance, the dollar fee for the environmental, I don't know why they do that, the dollar environmental fee, it's going to be $82 to rent. But that doesn't include tax, and that does not include the fuel that I'm going to have to spend to reimburse the vehicle. So it may appear at first that the U-Haul would be the least expensive form of transportation, but it's not. It's actually the least efficient, because once you add in the mileage, like I said, I need at least 50, but if I go over 50, say I go 75 miles for the day, that's $75 that I have to pay for mileage. So yeah, it's not the most conducive for the budget that I want to put forward to do more rides. With Enterprise, I could travel once again as far as I wanted to go, but with U-Haul, I'd be limited to the amount of destination or the amount of mileage that I'm able to put on due to the budget that I set for. So obviously I chose Enterprise. Enterprise to go with. I stick with the brand that's obviously been treating me right to begin with. Now, many people would probably ask me, well, do you think that this is the best form or the best method of transportation? And you know what? Without a doubt, yes, it is. It is the best method. Because for anyone who's seen my Bike Talk episode of how I saved $13K in 2020, then you would understand. When I was leasing a vehicle before, my month to month was $1,500 a month. Now, I say lease because, my friends, unless you have a title in your hand, you don't own anything. And that goes with the house. Unless you have that deed or that title in your hand, you don't own anything. The bank owes it, the bank owns it, and you lease it or you long-term rent it. Let's get that straight, okay? I didn't own my vehicle. I was leasing the vehicle. And for $1,500 a month, all of that did not go to the bank. However, a good portion of that went to the bank. After the bank, I had to pay auto insurance. So here's the bank. I had to pay auto insurance. I had to pay fuel. I had to pay maintenance and repair. And I also had to pay storage because I live downtown and I needed to park it somewhere. $1,500 a month out of my pocket versus, $200 for 2 days of a rental. And I'm not saying that I'm going to rent the vehicle for 2 days, but I can rent the vehicle for 2 days and still be well within a budget of what I'm trying to do. So you tell me, $1,500 a month to lease a vehicle or $200 a month to use it as I need it. Because let's be real, how often are you in your vehicle? I mean, I don't work a 9 to 5. I don't have a job that I have to commute to. So how often do you need to be in your vehicle? Because most of the time, the vehicle would just sit out in the parking garage or on the street or in the parking lot or in front of your house or whatever. How often are you really driving your vehicle? Me personally, I know I was wasting money. So does this work better than me having my own personal transportation? Hell yes, it does. $1,500 versus $200. It is a fraction of what I used to pay. So I chose this form. This works for me. But let me know what works for you. Cheers. What's happening, guys? It has been a very, very long week full of different things going on, appointments, errands, chores, and then other things that I have going on with my six. So it's been a long week and I've not had a chance to get into this corner and just build. And this is actually how I relax. So I'm gonna spend today relaxing, but yet building, doing some construction on this center console for Smoke Racer. So let's get into it. You saw that last week I posted that I have the materials for it in the last Bike Talk, and we got the PVC sheets, we got these tools. All we can do is get to work. So let's do this. All right, so where do we begin? Well, we have the model or the template, And these are all the parts that I need to go ahead and cut out. So this is where we're going to begin with this template, cutting out all the parts on 12 by 12 PVC sheet. I started making an incision here using the X-Acto knife, and I don't think that this is going to be the way that I'm going to use, or I'm going to be able to cut through it. I'm going to go ahead and try out the saw to complete this cut. So we'll see how well the saw works with that. Other than that, this is all an experiment. So let's see. So here's the first cut, but it's not quite even. So I'm gonna need to figure out a better way to hold this right so it can be cut in more of a straight, even line. That's gonna be the challenge, but the saw works pretty well. It doesn't take too much away from it. I'm okay with that. I'm gonna shave this down here so I can get a better edge on it. So far we got the smaller pieces together. Now I just need to cut out these two bigger pieces and sand these all down to make them more smooth edges. But like I said, this that works pretty damn well. But you know, working with PVC pipe, there's always this mess of shards that are everywhere. So I'm constantly sweeping up and getting them into a pile because I don't want that crap all over my house. But yeah, so here we are with that. We're getting ready to shave these down, and then I'm gonna cut these two parts out using another piece, and that's what's remaining from that one sheet. Like I said, don't want to burn too much material. Only got so much to work with. All right, let's go. I got the sanding all done, and I had to take a break, have some lunch, and also allow this to charge up because I ran low on power and couldn't continue recording. However, I managed to start gluing the pieces together, and I've only done a few pieces so far, but yeah, I'm moving on to gluing them together. And it looks like I'm gonna actually have to work on another type of a template for the toolkit because I just don't see the toolkit going in the same place as the controller. But this is where we are right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and start continuing to work and turn this on so you can see what's going on. Here's our two base pieces for the start of that. Now I've gone ahead and gave it a sloppy glue inside, which doesn't really matter because as long as it stays together. But yeah, I got both of them working on. Actually, I just finished gluing this one, and it's going to dry for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and start playing around with the model and seeing how well this is going to come together. Yeah, this is all an experiment, like I said, so let's see. Alright guys, it's late and my shop's messy and I'm going to pick this up tomorrow, but you probably won't see the rest of this until the next episode of Bike Talk. So hey, thank you for watching, for tuning in. If you like what you saw and you love the content, or you want more content, keep tuning in because we post every Monday for Bike Talk as well as Friday for Friday Cruising. We got more to come. So let me go ahead and get myself some rest. I'm going to get back at this bright and early in the morning, continue on recording. And like I said, it will be available for you next week on the next episode. So let's end here. Thank you for watching again. You guys stay safe and ride easy. If you'd like to be part of our purpose, mission, and our journey, please consider becoming part of the Electron Rebels Bike Club. You can find links to the club in the description below. Ride easy.